Okay. There we go. That's enough of that. That was a little Argentine tango music to lead off this presentation on Argentina, which is a country in South America that I did my little essay and project on. I'm here to tell you a little bit about it. The reason I picked Argentina was it's actually the only country besides the U.S. that I've been to. I went there a couple of years ago for a vacation, spent time in the capital, Buenos Aires, and then some countryside surrounding Buenos Aires. Argentina is an interesting country. If you don't know, it's in the southern half of South America, but it's a little bit distinct from the rest of South America in that it has a lot of European influences, and I kind of talked about this a lot at length in my essay when it comes to intercultural communication, because a lot of aspects of Argentine culture are similar to American culture, kind of in the way that they interact with one another, and some things just in their culture that we would just find familiar. The biggest barrier you have to overcome if you're talking to someone from Argentina is probably just learn how to speak Spanish. It's going to be the biggest thing for you. Bueno? Okay. Well, some major factors about Argentine culture that are important to consider is that I talked a lot about it in just like kind of face-to-face conversation, is that they're very kind of outgoing and expressive, open-minded, do a lot of laughing when it comes to personal conversation. And that was just interesting to me because for our other project, I talked about someone from Latvia who they were a much more reserved country, reserved people. So where Argentina is kind of the opposite of that spectrum, a lot more personable, outgoing, expressive. So I thought that was interesting and probably a little more casual than with physical contact than what we're used to. In America, totally fine with, casual touching, kissing on the cheek for a greeting, that kind of thing, just in kind of casual conversation. Obviously, business spheres are quite different, probably more strict, more what we're comfortable with in the United States. So that's something noteworthy, just in a general face-to-face communication in Argentina. A couple notes just about Argentina as a whole. As a country, is that it's not as diverse as the United States is necessarily. Pretty much everyone there is from European descent, predominantly Spanish descent, and the vast majority of the country is Roman Catholic. So that's kind of interesting to think about. Really, kind of like a simple thing. We do kind of take for granted, although not really, because we do talk about it quite a bit in this course. I actually scratched that last part of how diverse the United States is, but I think we do take for granted how diverse we are in comparison to other countries, which doesn't necessarily affect the way that we communicate with Argentina specifically, but that was just something that I noted specific to Argentine culture. Obviously, they still have their divides and their issues. I've mentioned in my essay there just happened to be a couple months ago, there was a big issue with tens of thousands of Argentines were protesting welfare changes in their legislature, and there had some violent police action, and there was a lot of issues with free speech going on, and that was an aside that I probably shouldn't have even mentioned, but I feel like worth mentioning. Current day politics in Argentina. That was a little bit of a rant. I kind of just threw a lot of information at you. Just take a second to process that all. If you need to rewatch the video a couple times to get the full feeling of it, feel free. This class has been a good time, even though I haven't met with any of you physically. If you are meeting anyone from Argentina, whether it be via the interweb or face-to-face person, if we still have that kind of communication, here in the future, just be ready for them to be really outgoing, be able to match their energy, and just be ready to make a new friend. That's what we're all here for, all right? All right, you have a good day. Hi.